Hello magical people, my name is Lou and I would like to welcome you to this video, which is not the actual video. Wait, what? That doesn't even make sense. So what you're watching right now is actually an introduction to a video that I shot a few days ago. And it will all become a little bit more clear, but I did want to address the obvious thing here, which is that the name of my channel has changed. I have followed through on all of the things that I discuss on the video, in addition to creating a website, all of which is in its very nascent stages. The Instagram, the website, the Etsy channel, all are now under one name, and I am muddling my way through how to manage all of that and get information out there. So all of the links will be in the description below, and without further ado, this video that you're about to watch is just a little bit of an insight as to how I went about deciding to follow this path and some of the thoughts that were behind it. So hopefully you'll find it interesting, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourselves. Hello magical people, my name is Lou, and I don't know if I'm going to publish this video, but because I am me, and I think I could probably largely put this up to extroverted feeling as a tool function, I sometimes find it helpful to talk out things that I'm having a hard time understanding my own feelings about with other people. And so I thought I'd try an experiment where I sort of just make a video of myself with myself, kind of under the perhaps false pretense that there is going to be an eventual audience at the other end of this video. So I'm not sure if I'm playing a trick on myself or making a video for the channel, but either way, this is the deal. I am really kind of not stuck, but stuck with regards to my sort of I feel like I've approached a junction point in the journey, so to speak, and I feel as though there are some changes about how I move forward, and that's going to require me sort of like owning my identity and my vision a bit more overtly than I have been courageous enough to do thus far. And so I think because the use of that word courageous implies that there's fear around taking these actions, and I think that fear it's really showing up for me a lot right now, and it's making me feel very muddled in the way I think through this process. So who knows if this will make sense to me, let alone anybody else, in either the talking or the rewatching. But anyhow, so I find myself at this point where I have all of these things that I've been spending my time and putting my energy into because I feel such a deep conviction and calling to do the thing. And the exact what and why have been a bit longer in becoming clear to me. So this takes the shape of the YouTube channel here, and doing actually offering tarot readings for other people, rather than just kind of doing it either just for myself or sort of on a lark with a close friend, actually acknowledging that that's something I can do, and offering that for people, or whether it's stepping into my own sort of artist self and allowing myself to play in a way that I've never allowed, and just sort of following those pathways. So this whole current place I find myself in is specifically looking through the lens of those things. So this is my sort of like soul purpose type stuff, I think, that's being pushed on. You know, this isn't really about my like day-to-day or my day job or anything like that. Like, this is very much about the soul purpose. And you know, it's kind of funny because I've been banging my head against the wall metaphorically, for quite some time now, trying to get a better understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing, both with my art and with my channel. And, you know, I've gotten some more clarity of late, and it's kind of funny because this is just, it's like one of those situations where this is already something that I know, like, so deeply that I created my own way of calling myself in the world after it. And, like, I know that's kind of a big statement, and it wasn't very well constructed, because I'm obviously going very just off the cuff here with everything. But what's another way of saying that? So in 2018, I had never planned on changing my name or anything like that. So it was kind of I hadn't consciously planned on changing my name, although obviously it was there working in the background. So it was kind of when Lou happened, it was kind of a spontaneous renaming of the self. And almost immediately I knew that it was short for something, but that what that something was hadn't yet been revealed to me. And, you know, but all I knew is that it was Lou, and that it was L-U rather than L-O-U, which is vibrationally different. And so fast forward a few years, and I finally figured out the rest of my name and legally changed my name. And that was, you know, like, I made the legal change about a year or so ago. And, you know, the first name in full that I gave myself, and, you know, the full story of my name is a bit longer and a bit more involved, and it's a story I don't know how to tell yet, so I'll save that for another day. But the story of my first name, or the meaning of my first name, is really pretty clear. My name is Lumenyxx, Lumenyxx. And among other meanings, the primary driving energy behind that naming of myself is bringing light to the dark. A lumen is a measure of light, and Nyx was the goddess of night. So you put them together, and it's bringing light to the dark places. So I came up with that name let's see, we're in 2023 now. So I legally changed it in 2022. I think it was in 2021. So a couple of years ago, I just totally fucking jacked my hair, which is already kind of jacked because I had a hat on all day. But anyways, Lumenyxx. I have known myself to be Lumenyxx for a couple of years. And just recently, I had this insight about whether it's the art that I make with the leather work that I do, or with the pendulums that I make, or with the drawings that I create, which may someday end up being an oracle deck. Whether it's the things that I create, or the readings that I do, or the short stories and experiences that I share, the primal force behind all of it is bringing light to the dark. Exposing that, like everybody else, I have had difficult and challenging experiences, or have difficult and challenging aspects of my personality, my life, my circumstances, my spirit, all of that. Like, you know, and that despite that, instead of running away from it, I'm continuing to show up and bring light to that part. And hopefully acting as an example so that other people can learn how to let their own light shine. So what does this have to do with the very practical day-to-day changes that I feel like I should be making? So, you know, I have this Etsy page, which is almost the same name as my YouTube channel. I think one is Moon Faye and the other one is Faye Moon. It was, neither one of them flow off the tongue very well, and there's not a perfect matchup, so there's a little bit of like just discordance, and I'm trying to bring all of the parts of myself, with regards to this lens anyways, sort of into alignment and sort of under a singular umbrella to sort of clarify the artist's vision, or clarify the healer's journey as I understand it at this time. And so I know that it would be helpful to get all of that stuff under one umbrella, which another way of putting that is kind of branding, which makes it sound so much just cheesier and shallow than what I'm putting into it energetically, but there you go. That's basically what it is. So I know it would be beneficial to sort of consolidate my ideas into a singular sort of brand, I guess. And that would also be helpful because with regards to the leather making, like I have an Etsy shop. Outside of mentioning here on the channel, like I haven't even told more than a couple of friends of mine about it. I'm not very good at like posting personal stuff on social media, and social media in general, pretty much outside of YouTube, isn't something I really engage in a whole lot unless I'm kind of forced to by circumstances, or, you know, looking something up, or a friend of mine will text me and say, hey, I know you're not on Facebook, but there's this thing, just wanted to make sure you knew. And then I'll go and look and fetch the information. I love my friends. But my point is that like the Etsy stuff, I haven't done a lot with self-promotion because I'm terrible at that, which, by the way, note to self and note to viewer, if there is one, that if you wouldn't mind, and if this has been published and there is an actual person watching it, and if you're still watching, then please do hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Anyhow, I'm terrible at that. It makes me uncomfortable, it makes me feel cringy, which probably goes back to core wounding that has to do with value, and feeling like I'm valuable enough to ask for the very easy support of literally hitting a button, but still not feeling worthy of it, or feeling, I don't know, it goes into a weird place for me. So anyways, but, you know, one of the other ways to get my leather work out there is to, well, there's a few things I could be doing, none of which I'm doing, really, because I don't know how to ask for help, and I don't know that I really feel like I have anybody to ask for help, because I feel like, getting emotional, so obviously this is hitting on something. I don't feel like I can ask for something without being beholden, or without feeling like then, beholden, I guess that's just the word, and that just makes me worry, because you never know what the return ask will be, and, you know, feeling like I can't say no to things like that. So like it goes into dicey territory, and I know that there are some things that I could use help on, like writing the descriptions, or, you know, like figuring out how to toot my own horn with the stuff that I make in a way that I'm, you know, doing the job of like describing the item and being interactive with people, which, just note for self editing, future self, just got an idea that I don't know if it'll work or not, but it might be helpful to try pretending that I am not the creator of the item. Try and step out of my sense of self and write a description. This is sad that I'm about to say this, but I'm about to say this anyways. Pretending that somebody I loved made that thing rather than me. Just telling right there. So, you know, lots of things that I feel like I could use help on, but I'm not going to get help on. But another way to get the, you know, sort of my like leather work, specifically how to get that out into the world, is to either contact a bunch of shops, giving them photos of items or linking them to a website, or like makers markets and craft fairs and that sort of thing, which has its own sort of deliberation process, because it's a very high cost in terms of actually being at the market, but it is also a really great way to directly interact with people and be able to pick up the vibe of what people find interesting and get some like good data points on that. Plus, they're usually only like one-offs, so, you know. But a hang-up with either of those options, either the reaching out to different shops or, you know, applying for markets, which I have applied for a couple, is that they always ask for either a website or an Instagram handle. And I do have a personal Instagram website or Instagram handle that I very infrequently use. But this has made me kind of wonder, like, actually, I don't know if did I ever get to the point where I said the actual thing about the branding? I don't know if I did. But if I didn't, and if it wasn't obvious by the actual conversation, I'm thinking of just rebranding as my name, as Lumenyxx. And that is, I think, as a word, engaging and enticing, and yet also open-ended enough that the sort of varied stuff that I have to offer could comfortably fit under it, because Lumenyxx is just me and I make all of those things, so of course. So I'm kind of thinking for simplicity that I might just do that. And I'm also thinking the point that I was just trying to slowly get around to, of setting up renaming the YouTube channel, renaming my Etsy page, and opening an Instagram page handle with all of those things. And I'm really fucking scared to do it, because I guess I'm afraid of the rejection. I'm afraid that I won't be able to keep up with the actual, like, putting information out there. I'm scared of what people will have to say, that people will be mean or will reflect back to me that kernel of a lie that I still hold deep within me, that I am not of value. Nothing I do or say could ever be of value or interesting or beautiful or desired. Like, nobody would ever want anything I make, you know, like that. Like, I'm afraid of having that confirmed, even though there's other parts of me that, I mean, unless everybody's blowing smoke up my ass, and I'm not saying, like, okay, I just, like, instantaneously had this spontaneous argument in my head with a couple of parts, so I'm going to try and separate them out and give them both a little bit of a voice here. So there is a part of me that is just so abundantly aware that there's so many just amazing people who create awesome physical things, who do deeply insightful and touching readings that offer stories and experiences and words and create space much more sacred than I'm doing. And so, because I see this just infinite expanse of all of these people who are already doing some aspect of what I want to do, but doing it so much fucking better than I could ever even imagine. It's like, you know, why, like, other people are already doing it better. But then there's this other part that's like, even though that is true, I think that it is also true that there are even more people who don't do any of those things, or who don't do those things in the way that I could. And that, I mean, unless everybody's lying to me, the limited feedback that I've gotten from people has been pretty validating. So I'd like to imagine that these people aren't lying. That would be pretty painful. And I don't think they are. Like, there's no part of me that actually believes that, but there's a part of me that fears that. Okay, well, that was helpful. That was helpful. There's not a part of me that believes it or even knows it to be true, but there is a part of me that fears that it's true. And so it's that fear that I'm butting up against. I mean, I can't remember who the fuck said this to me, if it was my therapist or some random YouTube video that I just happened to interpret as a message I needed to hear, or if it was a friend, but, or maybe it was multiple places, because maybe it's just one of those things I need to keep hearing. But I feel like of late, somehow, from somewhere, the phrase of bet on yourself and bet on your strengths, like those, that's just sort of coming to mind right now. So I feel as though, even though I think it's fucking scary, and even though I'm really probably not 100% ready to go all in, like I don't... Okay, so I think I'm going to make an agreement with myself. And if I do post this, it will all be very obvious by the time this video is out, because if I'm going to do this, then I will probably change the name of the channel and then release this video. I think I'll probably open an Instagram page and probably put that in the description box below. And whether or not there will be any pictures on it yet, we'll see. Like I said, I do have a bunch of pictures of stuff, but it's stuff that I've... some of the pictures of stuff that I have is from Etsy, and so it's I'm just not very good at taking pictures. But, but I still think that I will maybe not do a 100% integration. Like, thus far, I have, like, this space, the YouTube space, like, I've mentioned the Etsy stuff before, and, you know, like, there are several people in my personal life that I've mentioned having a channel to. I don't know if any of them watch or subscribe or anything. I don't think any of them have ever commented, so I'm guessing... I don't know that any of them are very big YouTube users in general, to be honest with you. But, I don't think anybody IRL has really shown up much, except for my sister. My sister has commented on a couple of videos and did show up briefly in one of the lives, although I didn't realize that till after the fact, when I happened to have left the chat box open and saw her message, and I felt bad because I hadn't seen her. But anyways, I think for now, I'm maybe more comfortable, like, having the YouTube channel here and renaming it under Lumenyxx, and also having my Etsy page renamed, and also opening an Instagram channel, or page, whatever it's fucking called, all under Lumenyxx, but not promoting the YouTube stuff on the Instagram stuff. I don't know, there's like this weird hesitation, and I think it's probably just, you know, again, just a really big fear of rejection, or like, I don't know, maybe feeling like I have a little bit of something to prove, or like I don't want to ask for help, or maybe like a bunch of those little buttons being pushed at once. But I definitely notice that I am feeling Like, I don't really want to come out to my IRL friends about being a YouTuber until I've got a more established channel. And I mean, maybe all of that stuff that I said before is true to a certain degree about like the fears and everything. But I think another part of it is that, like, so far, you know, one of the reasons why I didn't really tell anybody in my life about this channel starting out, I mean, outside of my sister, you know, I have a, like, you know, I trust her and we're pretty honest with each other. And not that I'm dishonest with other people, I don't have a lot of people that I'm super comfortable being vulnerable with. And I know that I also am very prone to sort of acclimating, like, I'm always me, but when I'm sort of around different friend groups, and this is probably a lot less true now than it was when I was younger, but, you know, when I'm around different friend groups, it's kind of like, you know, you sort of turn the facet, you know, which part is facing out. So, you know, but this space here, I've created to be a space where I can be just authentically me without, well, I mean, as much as one can be when there's people looking at you, which that's a conversation for a different day. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, I wonder if people from my real life, like here in town, started really showing up on the channel a lot, if I would feel obligated in some way to, I don't know what, like, I don't really know what's behind that fear, except that it's maybe just a protectiveness, based on past, I think maybe that's it. Rather than it being an actual fear, it's just a fear sort of left over from past experiences that I've had where I've witnessed myself sort of self-abandon in a way to make other people the center or something. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think there's anything real coming from that. I think it's just this weird protective, like, it's scared to show yourself, especially to, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to finish that sentence. It's just scary to show yourself. But, so yeah, I think I've got a plan, that I've worked this out with myself. Thank you so much, very much, magical people. I do like to think, and of course I've got no scientific proof of this, because who could? And yet I feel it to be true, that energy knowing neither time nor space, it's somehow future magical people. The energy that the space that we shared energetically within the scope of this video, I think showed up to be really helpful for me. So thank you. Thank you for helping me figure through this a little bit and get a little bit of an understanding of what I'm going to do, and also permission to do it, permission to still feel nervous and scared about it, and also permission to keep some boundaries in place so that I don't feel like I have to buddy, I don't want your ass in my face. Give me the cute part. I want the cute part. Sorry guys, I'm sure he just totally stuck his ass right at the camera. Yes. But anyhow, thank you so much. I think, yeah, if you post this, then look at the channel name and you probably will have noticed that it's different. So welcome to my new channel. Good God. Don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourself, and I will see you soon.